Yo, check. Yeah, we're not the type to play games, you can stake claims. Came to show the movement moving like a freight train, breaking walls and crumble earth with every step we take. We walking by with lash and your neck will break. Never let it stray, so say it wrong or set it straight. So coming at us with an awkward demeanor is leaving your life in the dead of face. So pedal straight, avoid these shots, we send it all costs. Truly believing that it'll be different, we watching your body get hauled off. Simple as this, we giving the vibe of the revolution that we living within. Diminish the doubt of the haters that talk on the low because of this minuscule shit.
Daggerheart. Daggerheart. Daggerheart, come and we want to go home. The clickbait bunnies have been busy this week with Daggerheart, and with all the stuff going on with Wizards of the Coast, we kind of missed a story that might be important for the future of our neighbors over here at Critical Role who live just over the corner in Calabasas. So yeah, there was another update to Daggerheart playtest, which didn't get a lot of play, probably because we were distracted. There was an announcement from Daggerheart's possible biggest competitor that changes the outlook. And then, of course, there's the usual bits of clickbaity controversy that go hand in hand with our friends over at Critical Role. But first, let's check the news numbers and see how week 1 of Beacon has affected the other two channels. If you're not familiar with the Beacon experiment, this is similar to what they did back in the old days of Geek and Sundry, where they started a paid per view channel that they're going to have all their stuff on it. Back on Geek and Sundry, it was called Alpha. This is called Beacon. I guess if this one fails and they try again in a couple of years, it'll start with the letter C, because A for Alpha, B for Beacon, C for Critical Role TV. Yeah, so they have this thing now, and they're putting all their stuff on Beacon first, then Twitch, then YouTube, then whatever else it's on. They managed to crash the internet twice because of Beacon and because of all the people that have abandoned Twitch to go watch it on Beacon. Hey, why watch something for free if I can pay for it, right? So it's been exactly 7 days since the last time they posted anything on Twitch. It was another episode of the show, and it got 2,209K views. Over at the Tube of Views, looks like the last 7 days ago with an episode of Myths. Guys, give it up. Myths Season 3, Episode 14 with 16K views. We've got the Critical Role Abridged, which is a great idea. Unfortunately, it's Campaign 3. I don't know if that's the best place to start it, but they are managing to keep it down to 60 minutes. So if you want an abridged of what everything that's going down with Campaign 3, here you go. I don't know why I know there was a reason why they couldn't start with Campaign Run. I don't know why. If anybody does, something to do with who owned what or copyright or something with another studio. I don't really know, but I knew there was a reason why they couldn't start with Campaign 1. And starting with Campaign 3 probably is best, since it is their worst reviewed of the 3 campaigns. This had 26K views, though. We had a Gathering of Nerds, Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 95, with 227K views. Critical Role Abridged with 15K views for Episode 5. And then Myths Season 3, Episode 15 with 9.2K views. I'm assuming this is doing better on Beacon than it is on YouTube, because these are horrible numbers for them. But unfortunately, unless I pay for it, I have no way to access Beacon. Oh, no. Moving forward, there has been some changes to the playtest, though they haven't changed the playtest survey since March 12th. So I'm pretty sure we've already done that. Looks like there was a change on May 17th. Looking at this, if you look at the change log, mostly it looks like just placement changes and minor wording changes. Lots of places where it says clarified text. More changes to the cards. More changes to just some of the writing and how things are worded. Stuff like that, which of course leaves the question, if they keep changing it, is it still the same game that first came out when they decided to do this? Thus my reference to the Ship of Theseus, for those of you who are geeky enough to know what the Ship of Theseus is. How many times do you change something before it stops being the original and becomes something new? The never-ending question of our hobby. How many times do you change a game before it stops being that game and becomes a new game? You know, if my D&D game is filled with 10,000 house rules, has it stopped being D&D? Other than I'm still using a D20? Well, you know, I mean, since D&D is technically just a name, or Daggerheart is just a name, if they keep changing things in order to remain more relevant and more approachable for non-viewers, does it stop being Daggerheart and become something else? And is their goal now to become 5e adjacent, as opposed to remaining this weird, gimmicky, independent thing that Daggerheart is? And with the other announcement that came out this week that we kind of missed because we were focusing on Wizards of the Coast nonsense, does what they're doing matter? Because apparently Matt Colville sold out. So if you missed the story, our friend Matt Colville of MCDM, the upcoming D&D killer that he's been working on, apparently signed his soul away, and his stuff will now be on D&D Beyond, starting with all his monster books, and then possibly MCDM. And it feels like all the future monster books that Wizards make is going to use the format that Matt Colville created for his monster book, as opposed to the format we're used to from the previous Monster Manual. So maybe the Monster Manual will undergo some changes more than just cosmetic. But of course, it's not that Matt Colville hasn't made stuff for 5e before. He has, but he's apparently signed the new SRD and agrees to whatever draconian nonsense is there to get his books on D&D Beyond, which makes his stuff technically sort of canon. I mean, it was 5e stuff, so it was technically canon anyways. But what does this mean for MCDM? Is he putting this on because he knows that people are going to lose interest in MCDM since we have to wait so long? And since he is now trying to be more and more 5e adjacent, does this alter Critical Role's thinking regarding Daggerhearts? Because now they can be like, well, we don't have to compete with MCDM now anymore. He's gone 5e, so we can maybe stay gimmicky. Interesting thing to think about, and the interesting thing is nobody really covered that. Now let's go on to this week's controversy and clickbaity. First off, there was a story about things getting toxic on Campaign 3 in the latest episode. Oh no, but then it just turned out to be a in-party fight and an in-party fight with an NPC. And now the party is fighting amongst each other, and it actually apparently almost came to in-game blows. So yeah, the other big thing is their audio thing with the Reslayers, their podcasts. They're doing this, the Reslayers on Beacon. It's week number 2. The question is, will audio only role-playing work? And more importantly, is this Critical Role the next generation? Because right now the campaign is in the same world, but has no connection to what's going on in the main campaign with the never-ending final chapter of Campaign 3. But are they passing the torch? Are they passing the torch to the Reslayers group? Will we see them as the focus in Campaign 4? Because right now they're just doing this audio thing. And the question is, does it work? And my answer would be, depending upon how long it is and how well it's done. I mean, if it's, done like a classic radio play, like the old Shadow episodes or the old radio soap operas with the sound effects and everything, yeah, it could work. It depends upon how long it is. But if it's just 2 hours of people going, all right, Chip, it's your move. I walk towards the door. I take out my pick locks. I look over my shoulder, and then I do the thing. Okay, Chip, roll a d20. What'd you get? Ooh, I got a 14, and I get +4 to that, so that's an 18. Do I pick the lock? With an 18, Chip, yeah, you pick that lock, and you pick like 8 other locks. I mean, is that interesting enough to carry a 2.5, 3 hour radio drama with nothing else going on besides just listening to people talk? Now, remember, when we hear things through the YouTube, we're hearing it differently. And with no faces to look at, that it's hard for us to differentiate things even further. So if I don't have a face to look at and I'm just listening to 4 or 5 people talk at the same time, the way the computer processes sound as opposed to the way our ears process sound naturally is different. Computers don't process sound in 5D or 3D or whatever you call it. You hear all the sounds from the computer at the exact same time. It doesn't separate them. To use the example, if you're sitting in the middle of a coffee shop and there's 8 other conversations going on in the 3D, your ears should process it out. Just unconsciously, you just process out conversations that aren't relative to what you're focusing on. And it just becomes background noise until somebody yells or something like that. But with the computer, hearing it through the computer, that's not how the sound is presented. So if it's just a radio play with nothing to look at and nothing to differentiate, and it's just 8 people talking for 2.5, 3 hours, our ears aren't going to be able to tell the difference. Every conversation will sort of blend together. We won't be able to tell who's talking. And if we can't see a face, then that's going to be even harder. So at that point, it depends upon how interesting it is and how long it is. And are we passing the torch to them? Will campaign 4 be about them? And there you go. That's the Critical Role news for this week in under 13 minutes. Yeah. Want to hear me stop talking about Critical Role? You know what to do. Help me hit 2,000 subs. Till next time, I'm the OGG. Oh, we got some stuff. We got talking from Exante. Welcome, Exante. Please like, share, and surprise. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Cat Monroe says that the first campaign and some of campaign 2 is owned by Geek and Sundry, and Geek and Sundry is, and that Critical Role is trying to buy it from Geek and Sundry. Okay, so I guess that's why they can't do campaign 1. Ship of Theseus. Don't you mean Magic the Gathering? I'd really enjoy a straight-spoken dramatic performance of the adventures in Mercer's world without any gameplay. So yeah, radio play. If it was done well, sure. Most of them are talented voice actors. Playing to their strengths would make sense, but a voice actor is dependent upon the image on the screen. That voice is now associated with Ash or Pikachu or Batman. But your eyes know who's talking. From a business point of view, if a radio drama really hits, it could sell the setting and character types effectively. Then add the rules and mechanics separately, and it could be a win. I don't know. I mean, it's a weird. Podcasts obviously are a thing, and actual play podcasts, I think, are a thing. So it could work. I don't know. Anyways, there you go. Got a little scientific there for you guys on how sound works. Ooh, we learned something from the OGGM. Never do that again to us. Never do that to us again, OGGM. We don't want to learn things. We just want to hear you sing. Till next time, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, buy my merch, and I'll talk to you later.